Should we do an ASMR podcast? Hey guys, today I'm going to be sitting down with Amiya Aparicio. She is on TikTok. She has over 20,000 followers and she's local here in Yakima. The focus that I want to go over today is, whether you want to be an influencer yourself or you're a business owner and you really want to build that following, I want to dig into what those secrets are with her and how you could do the same. Absolutely.
When did you start posting on social media, just in general?
Ugh.
Was it kind of like
junior high,
and
it's so cringe. it's so bad. A lot of those videos are taken down, but I all started on YouTube.
I mean, are you really an influencer if the very beginning videos weren't just like horrible?
So bad. And I look back on them and I'm just like, why did I say that?
Yeah.
Why was I wearing so much eyeliner?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Like the bottom eyeliner.
Oh, so bad. It was so bad.
Like when you get those recommended Facebook memories from like 10 years ago and you're like...
So cringe. Justin Bieber merch all day, every day. Heavy eyeliner. Oh, it wasn't great.
So when did you officially start TikTok? Was it kind of when
TikTok first started? And then I think my account really blew like during COVID time because I would just make content about Yakima and making fun of it. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh, I'm from Yakima. I'm from Ellensburg. Mm-hmm. And so that's when the ball started rolling. I hit probably like 10K during COVID time and then I kind of stopped posting.
Oh.
And then I kind of got back into it somewhat recently. Yeah. Cool. I try to be consistent, but it never happens. I try though. That's all I can do is try.
Well, and when you started, was it like, well, I guess you started initially as like a hobby, right? Or just like something fun?
Just something fun to do because when I see like back in the day on YouTube, it was like Andrea Russ at O2L and I was like, I want to do that. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was so fun. Like me and my friends would set up our cameras and just film the most cringiest stuff, but it was content. Yeah. And some people would see it and like comment on it. I would try to clickbait people all the time to like click on my videos. Like you have to. But I was just, I don't know. I saw these other influencers doing it. I'm like, I definitely want to do that. And when posting on YouTube, no one really sees it because it's such a huge platform. But on TikTok, you really find that algorithm and you'll get what you want.
How do you find the algorithm? Is it like hashtags?
I would say hashtags. I put hashtags on all of my videos. It depending on what the video is. So like recently yesterday I just posted a crockpot recipe one.
Okay, yeah.
Crockpot, hashtag crockpot recipe, hashtag crockpot recipes, like all the hashtags that just relate to that video. And usually people who are looking up the videos, your hashtags will pop up and hopefully your video pops up.
I'm asking some of these to be like, well, because I post for my clients and I just started doing it, like this is a site savvy podcast and I'm just starting it up again. Yeah. So I'm almost like, well, I do these things. Are they right?
Yes. No, hashtags I think are really important, especially when it's related to your video.
Is there like too many that you could do? Like what if you did like 50? I feel like that would really just...
You can honestly, I feel like it doesn't matter because sometimes, well, you have those
like
videos.
Annoy people maybe? Or?
No, because I put my caption and so my caption usually you want it to relate to your video because when people look up those keywords, it's in your caption. But then I hit a few spaces or like on Instagram, I will do like a little emojis to separate the hashtag so it's not so cringe. But I will put the emojis or like spaces on TikTok and then put my hashtag so people don't see it because they don't really care about the hashtag. It's more just for you and you're pushing your video out.
You're essentially organizing your content. Yeah. So do you know what search engine optimization is?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Well, kind of. Not like insanely, but...
Well, that's what you're talking about is. And the more I'm thinking about it, it's like, I think so many social influencers really do understand the internet so much better than like, say a lot of business owners. Because a lot of businesses might, they're really focused on like their website, right? Yeah. But then there's a whole social media aspect of it. And that's straight up what you're doing. When you talk about all those hashtags, you are literally like telling search engines, like, these are the words that all relate to what I'm doing. Yeah. And that's straight up what I tell my clients, right? Like, if they're in construction or something, I'm like, give me like 100 keywords so we can just pump
Yes.
your site full of it, because if
Yes.
people type this in, you're more likely to show up. So that's exactly what you're doing, but
Yeah.
like on TikTok.
Yeah.
Just maybe putting, like, now you can connect, like, oh, this is SEO. I'm doing SEO.
And I'm pretty sure you can. No, actually, I think that's Instagram. On Instagram, that has like a little section that's hidden, but like, it's like under more details or something, and you can put in those keywords.
Yep. Or like tags, or
Yes,
like
exactly.
tags on YouTube, I think.
Yeah.
So are you posting the same stuff on like all your platforms, or do you do different types of content per platform?
I would say it's hard because I don't really post on YouTube anymore. I'm more focused on TikTok because that's where a lot of my engagement comes from. That's where I have the most followers. But if I do post a TikTok, will post it on YouTube Shorts if it's a minute long.
Yeah.
And that'll be different for each thing because on YouTube Shorts, it can only be 1 minute. So either I'll try to confine the length of the video to make it for a YouTube short, but I will try to post as much on there as possible. Have I done that recently? No. But when I do, I feel like YouTube Shorts really pop off too. And for YouTube Shorts, I don't really even put a caption. Sometimes it's all hashtags as the title, and they seem to do good.
Have you looked into using, Hootsuite's really popular, but there's, I use one called Metricool, and you can plug in all your social platforms into it. And so then when you go to schedule your video or reel or whatever, you can put it on all your platforms all at the same time. And you have to, of course, like, Twitter has only so many characters, or YouTube, it has to be 60 seconds or less. But that would make things easier, because if you're already recording the content, like, get it out on everything, Anyway.
For sure.
So metricool.com.
Never
I'd
heard.
recommend it. Yeah.
I'll be writing that down.
You can even, and if you have like a website, say you do merch one day, you can connect it too, and it shows you all the analytics and your competitors, so you can see what trends they're doing. And if you want to, you need some inspiration or whatever, you can go through there as well.
I love it.
Yeah. Actually, I brought this up. You said that you were wanting to do merch. You had so many people asking.
I have people in my live streams on TikTok asking me for merch. And
you gonna do it?
I've thought about it. I just don't even know where to begin. Like, stickers? Hoodies?
Yeah. So I think I mentioned drop shipping to you.
Yes.
So printful.com, that's been something a couple of my clients use.
Yeah.
So drop shipping is you never have to touch the product.
Oh, I love that.
Whether it's a sticker, t-shirt, sweatshirt, hat, like, you would never physically come into contact with it. So you can create your own Printful store. I don't know why I did quotations. It's Printful. And you can create your own store and account or whatever, and you can go in and literally design, like say you make something in Canva, and then you can bring it into Printful, and you can design all kinds of clothes or cups or whatever you want to choose from that they have available.
Yeah.
And so once you feel pretty confident in your designs or whatever, you could actually link that in your TikTok, and then people buy it directly through Printful, and Printful ships it directly to them, and you never have to deal. Yeah.
Oh, so we'll be talking about this after.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. So when I think about all that stuff, I think it's just so much stuff behind the scenes, but I think I overplay it in my head, or make it seem like it's more than it is.
Even if you just have an idea about really anything, 5 or 10 minutes of research, and then.
Yeah. Oh, we'll be talking about this after.
Okay. Let's see. So you stream, you do and stuff.
I love it. I love it. It's so fun.
How often do you do that?
Every day. I try to every day, unless I'm extremely tired. But I try to do it every day because I genuinely enjoy it so much. I have a fun little community on there that hops in, and it's worth it. It's a good way to end my day. It's just with some fun.
And what are you playing?
Fortnite.
Fortnite. Do you mix it up, or is it
sometimes?
Always...
Okay, this is gonna sound so bad. So many people tell me you should play this, you should play that, and I'm like, okay, well, that means I need to learn a lot of stuff. I need to make sure I can put it on my PC, put it on my Xbox, and all that. But I downloaded Roblox, and it is the most confusing thing ever.
What?
I feel old. I feel old playing it. I dress to impress. I'm like, how do I don't even know.
Maybe you could play it, and then the people in the comments can just be like,
I think I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I literally played a game where you just had to stand in line and wait to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
And we made it. We did it.
Like The Sims.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that. See, Sims too. Don't understand it.
Really? Sims is like...
I know. I have a girl in my chat who tells me, you need to play Sims. I'm like, okay. It's kind of confusing, though. I don't understand it.
So...
Wait, do you play Sims?
I played the original Sims.
Okay.
And I've had every single one since.
Okay.
It's an issue. I have to, like... If I want to play The Sims or something, I'm like, all right, well, I'm doing nothing else today.
Yeah.
Like, I have to, like, really, you know?
Yeah.
I do think more women play The Sims and things like simulated type of games more than guys. I think guys just more want the action and shooting and like...
But see, that's me.
People dying and...
That's me.
Okay. And Maya, too.
The guys in Maya. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. I don't know. It's just, I love Animal Crossing. I believe you. Do you play Animal Crossing?
No.
Oh, come on.
I seriously, like, okay, do you know what Toontown is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still will bring that up. Toontown Rewritten. It was dropped by Disney because there weren't enough people playing it.
Oh,
and then the fans picked it back up.
Okay.
And now they're like adding on to it and like developing new stuff in it. And it's all free where like you just have to pay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love
I would
free.
literally get cards in the mail of like cogs and like gags, and it's so embarrassing because like I signed up for it at 13.
Yeah.
And there's still like a community around it. There's like adults that still like play it.
Okay. Webkins. Do you know what Webkins?
I never did that, but I did hear about it.
Oh, I loved Webkins.
Webkins. Neopets.
Neopets?
Yeah.
No.
That was a UK thing, but it's actually still active.
Really?
Millsberry was one.
No. See, a lot of the games that I played online, I can't remember. But Webkins, I was obsessed with Webkins.
I've heard of that. I don't know.
I only had one, but I was obsessed.
What is it?
It's like, okay, so you'd buy the stuffed animal, your Webkin, and then it would have like a little code, and then your Webkin would be on the website.
Like physically in store you buy?
Yes.
Okay.
Physically in the store. Stuffed animal, stuffy.
Okay.
I had like the little blue dog or cat. It was a cat. And it was the cutest thing ever. And then it gives you like the name of your Webkins and then the code where you can go online, type in that code, and then your Webkins, the one that you bought, my blue cat, would be in the website. And you'd play a bunch of little mini games. There's one where you had to like go find jewels and you had to find all the different rocks and jewels. You can like customize your own little house. Oh, I was obsessed. I'd play for hours. Hours.
It sounds really similar to Neopets.
Well, I'm sure.
And Millsberry. I mean, I didn't have a physical thing, but same kind of idea. You have like in Millsberry, you have a little person, or in Neopets, you have like a pet. They're kind of Pokemon-ish.
Yes.
And then you go like build them houses and like.
Did you play Club Penguin?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't, but everyone's obsessed with Club Penguin. Yeah. Webkins give me Club Penguin vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Kind of. Same year-ish. I love it.
Well, you should go check out Toontown.
No, I'm going to. I need new things to play
fun.
because everyone goes, are you playing Fortnite? Do you only play Fortnite? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I try to get when I'm streaming, I play on Xbox. I have it capture card to my PC, but I try to capture card my Nintendo Switch. Doesn't work. I don't know why. Like, I want to play Animal Crossing. I can't play Fortnite all the time. I'm like starting to get bored of it, and I get really mad when I lose.
Were you gaming from the very beginning of when you started TikTok, or
no.
is this more recent?
This is more recent. I used to stream on Twitch. I almost called it purple platform because you can't say that on TikTok. But I started streaming on Twitch, and then I was like, okay. I would get really good days where I would get a lot of engagement, and then other days I just wouldn't. And so it started to get to the point where I was getting kind of bored about it. And so I was like, okay, TikTok it is, because that's when it started picking up. I feel like it's more recent that people started playing Fortnite on TikTok. And now I'm seeing it more and more, and people love it. They'll watch for hours. Hey, can I play? I know.
I've been
I
to
see
a couple
you in there.
of your live streams, and I see like you have a lot of guys in there. I don't think I've seen another girl in there.
No, I do. I have Sarah, who's my mod. Shout out to Sarah. Sarah, she's in there all the time. I do have a few girls that come in and out of there. But it is a lot of guys.
And they're a little flirty.
Yeah.
What does your boyfriend think of that?
I don't think he cares. Yeah. No, because he streams too, and he has all those girlies in there.
Oh,
so we talk about after.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is that we'll both stream at night. Meet after our streams. I'm like, how was your stream? Oh, it was good. How was your stream? It was all right. so and so was in my stream. I'm like, oh, so and so was in my stream, and we just talk about it, like, because you form these little communities that is so fun. You have like, I have like 6 to 7 to 8 that come in constantly, and I'm always like, how was your day, how's your grandma doing? And a lot of them are like affected by the hurricane right now, so I'm like always thinking about them. And so it's just like, it's a fun thing that Zane and I get to connect about too, because
that's cool.
he doesn't really care though. He don't mind.
He's like, get that money.
None that I know of. None that I know of. But no, we're fine about it. It's funny. We laugh about it.
So I'm kind of like looking up other influencers in the area, because I think this is really cool to like physically tell us your secrets. Right? What do you think of like Bryn? I don't know. I don't think she has her last name, but like Bryn and Mario. But Bryn's from Ellensburg.
Yes.
And she has millions of followers.
Yeah.
Have you, like, I don't know, like, I think it's like crazy that we have people like that in our area.
Yeah, and I think it's the coolest thing ever.
Made it, yeah. Have you checked out some of her stuff?
Yes, because when
follow some of her tutorials.
Yeah. When we talked on Zoom or on Google Meet, Zane was over here and he goes, "Oh, she knows who they are." I said, "Yeah," because he told me about them. I didn't know they were, because they would pop up on my For You page every once in a while. Yeah. He goes, "You know they're from Ellensburg, right?" I said, "No."
Bryn is. Mario's from Las Vegas, and like she just moved. I may or may not follow them.
Oh, are you a little obsessed?
They're very entertaining.
No, yeah, they're actually hilarious.
I knew Mario, and then when he started dating her, that's how I found out about Bryn.
Well, they're both hilarious.
They are,
especially Mario. Mario's really funny, but yeah, Zane told me about them, and then he overheard. He goes, "Oh, he knows them, or she knows them." I was like, "I don't think she knows them, but she knows of them." Yeah. But I think it's really cool that people from around the valley do it. Like we'll see other people like through high school that will post on there. It's so weird when you see people that you know pop up on your For You page. It's really crazy. And like there's some people who like their videos will go viral. And I'm like, that looks familiar. Oh, that's Yakima. Like, oh, that's where I live.
I did see a viral one where like this just happened a few weeks ago.
I think I know what you're going to say.
There was like the car going down, like I think you see it go by miners or something.
Yes.
And there's literally a guy hanging out of the window.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes.
Like what is going on? So, you know, I guess Yakima's going viral, probably not for the best reasons, but we're still going viral.
It's that's what my beginning of my TikToks were it's just like making fun of Yakima, of like, hey, join a gang, hey. But like there was a trend where it's like different things that you could do in your town or something, and like for small towns there's not really a lot to do, and so like my joke of my TikTok was, you can join a gang. And people thought that was hilarious. I would talk about different high schools. I think when you mentioned like different places in Yakima, like when I post about different restaurants and whatnot, that's when people really start like, oh, I know where that is. Oh, I live in Yakima. Like that's how you really connect with
people.
Small
Get
town.
Super excited that
they
like,
get so excited. Especially when it's like a place that they've been to, or like when I talked about how I went to West Valley, they're like, oh, I went to West Valley. Or I go to West Valley. I'm like, you'll see my name on the 2018 board. Like I'm there still. But I think people really eat that up of just like, oh, local. But that wasn't even your question. I started rambling again. That's fine. But yes, I know who they are, and I think it's really, I do think it's really cool when other people in the valley do it. I know some people. I saw this lady who has 100,000K on Instagram.
Oh, in Yakima.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I have no idea.
Do a shout out.
I don't know. I don't know her name. I just clicked on it. I said, oh, that looks like Yakima, and she had 100K on Instagram. So I was like, she knows what she is doing.
Yeah.
But I think it's because a coffee stand posted her coffee, like, you know, like they share your stories.
Yeah.
But she looked like because she had like the blue symbol, and whenever someone has the blue symbol, so I'm like, oh, who are you? And she had 100K. I was like, oh, okay.
Speaking of that, have you've had some businesses want you to like promote their businesses, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Not that they wanted me to promote, but the first big company that reached out to me was Nespresso, and they sent me one of their machines and like all the pods, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. And like, I'm gonna make it big.
I'm
now.
like, this is it.
This is
starting.
The moment.
Yeah, and then I think that like local wise, the state fair reached out to me last year and wanted me to film a TikTok for them, so I posted that. And then Nordstrom Rack, when it opened in Yakima, they were like, hey, do you want VIP shopping?
Ooh.
And I'm like, yeah, like, all right, here's a $100 gift card for you and your boyfriend. I was like,
Wow.
yeah.
Nice.
There's a lot of fun things that I've been doing. I'm doing one with like a company right now that's like promoting voting. So I've been working with them, and then I've done a few, but my mind's blank. But it's so fun.
Yeah.
I like when people reach out, and so like when you reached out, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Just don't kill me, but
don't murder me, but yes, I'm in.
Yeah.
No, I was excited. This is my first podcast.
Ooh, nice.
So
yeah.
I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So are you wanting to kind of take that direction more? Like, are you kind of wanting to make more money with TikTok, or like look for more promotions, or what's kind of like your future plan with?
I would love to be a full-time influencer.
Yeah,
I think that'd be so cool. I mean, I love being a preschool teacher. I think it's so fun, and I love working with kids because like that's all I've done.
Yeah.
And so I think being an influencer would be like, I mean, it's been my dream since I started posting that first big video on YouTube in junior high. But I don't know. I would love to see my account take off. And then sometimes I have those days where like, oh, this was like a really good day, and I kind of see that. And then some weeks are really slow, and you're like, okay, why am I doing this? But you never know. Like, you have to be consistent. You never know what video is going to pop off and go viral.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you, that one video of me doing that stupid filter, and I never hit play on it, and everyone really called me out on it. Like, you're doing it wrong. And it got over 1 million views. And I was like, okay. So out of all the videos, it had to be that one.
You gotta give the audience some context now for the what
so
video is
there
it?
was
and this is your most viewed one?
This is my most viewed. It has over 1 million views. So this one, there was a time where I was doing a lot of the TikTok filters, and this one was, what letter of the alphabet is your soulmate? I'm like, okay, I'll do it. At the time, my boyfriend's first name started with an A, and the first letter of the alphabet is A. So I never clicked the screen to make it go through like the alphabet, and so I was like, oh my gosh, my soulmate, A. They're like, girlie, you never hit the screen to make it go through the alphabet. I was like, oh, this is embarrassing. And I got over 1 million views, and that's where I got a lot of followers too. So like, you'll never know what's gonna pop off.
Have you thought of doing almost doing another type of video and being like, oh, I accidentally,
I mean, I
like
probably should. And like the videos that have mistakes in them, I feel like are the ones that really pop off, because people love to tell you when you're doing something wrong.
Oh, no, they do. I actually almost did a test with that the other day. You commented on one of them, but it was the, you just had to say the pronunciation of the colors.
Yes.
And mine clearly had a bug, so like I turned it. So I did one where I say them and it just all goes through, and it was great, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one, it like goes through, but it wasn't supposed to. And then I said like the incorrect color, and it still went through, and I'm like, I don't.
You're
and
like, I'm like really good at this.
I got more views on the messed up one than the like one where I like did it correctly.
Yeah.
So that is interesting to like lock away.
In my mind is that anything is content, right or wrong. So like when you make those TikToks that are a mistake, or you have bloopers of your TikTok, post it, because people thrive off of it. They love it.
Going off of that, so I do work with a lot of businesses for marketing, and I feel like when I look at how businesses market versus how like just social media influencers market, it is very different. And that's essentially what you're doing. You are marketing yourself. Yeah. And I feel like influencers are just so much more laid back, and they're like, whatever goes, right? Yeah. And dealing with businesses, and just how I see it too, like I'll see other companies just post kind of just this very stale, like, hello, welcome to, and in those, 2-3 seconds, that is instantly when people are either going to just move on, scroll. So it's like you have a very small window to get people to actually watch your full TikTok. So what would you say to business owners that they're just so like, they need their TikToks to be like perfect, and they'll go back and like, oh, well, this was a mistake and this is an issue, and we just, we can't release it like this. And I know there's some industries that really do need, that they are portrayed a certain way, and they need to, be correct. Yeah. But I don't know, coming from someone that now has 20,000+ followers, what would you advise, you know, say you had a business that was like, all right, Maya, we're gonna hire you to teach us how to go viral, right?
Yes.
Or at least 20,000, right? You know, what advice would you give business owners?
Nothing has to be perfect. Like I said, everything is content, where if you're making dinner, that's content. But if like you have a business that you want to promote your product or whatever you want to promote, follow the trends, do the hashtags. But again, nothing has to be perfect. Like you can do, I don't know if you've seen the trend where like a video goes viral, like someone's splashing water and then they splash water on them and then boom, they say their business and all that. It doesn't have to be word for word. What is your business? Like, make it fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be serious all the time.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a minute long plus video, because people get bored. They will just watch that. You need to have that 5 seconds where this is gonna catch your eye and I'm gonna watch your video. So like for me, I feel like, for me personally, I feel like when I'm watching a video, if you don't capture my attention in that first 5 seconds, like,
Yeah.
I'm scrolling.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But I feel if I were, I feel
So
like,
that's why those hooks are
yes,
so
the hooks are
important.
very important in a video.
Do you
Like,
have any examples of like businesses that you've seen where you're like, yeah, they did it right?
I feel like a lot of NFL teams are really doing it right now.
Okay.
Because they will do like a good 10-second video and it catches your eye. It's hilarious. It makes you want more. And they pop up on my For You page a lot more often because it's something that you engage with. So the following the trends and like even like the photos, you don't even have to post
a little
videos.
slideshow.
Yeah, a lot of people like to go through the photos, or like you said, if you have like a little mistake in your video, post it, because people will think it's funny. They'll want more.
It's more relatable. It's realistic.
Yeah, it is. It's way more relatable, more realistic. And it's not like okay, I'm gonna sit down and tell you word for word about everything.
Right.
Like, make it fun, make it engaging.
Well, and like also we were just saying, honestly, if you have a mistake, you'll probably have more engagement because people want to tell you you're wrong.
You're wrong and you're doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you about it. Like, people love to do that, especially like this younger generation. Oh, they'll nitpick you like no other.
Or like there's one where you'll see like someone will be showing a book or something, and then in the foreground or whatever, you'll see like maybe it's even like fake, but they'll show a cat walking and then they'll walk on their hind legs.
Yes. Yes.
But the focus is here, but everyone will see what's going on in the background. Be like, oh.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if it's fake or not. It's almost like people, they don't want to be tricked. Like they want to say like, hey, like you didn't trick me. But by them engaging and commenting and sharing, like you are winning because of that. Yeah. Right. And then your video just gets seen more. Yeah. And so that seems to also be like a trend. Like, oh, look at this. But really, I was wanting you to look at the cat.
I actually put that there. Yes.
So when you're not TikToking, you are a preschool teacher and a barista?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
I was. I loved it. You meet so many fun people. Just like in the community.
Where were you baristaing?
Baristaing. High West Coffee.
Okay.
Out on Summit View.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. It was fun. I love those girls. The owners are great. It's just, I was getting overwhelmed. I just had so much, and working with kids is a lot. Love them to death. But it was getting too much. And I do make money on TikTok. And so that's like been a nice little income coming too.
So what's one thing that you've done that has gotten you to where you are today with your following? Like, what would be one piece of advice you could give to someone? It doesn't matter if they're business or not, but just anyone that wants to, really build a good audience. What is one consistent thing that you would recommend?
Being consistent.
Consistent with?
And posting. Okay. And no matter what it is. Like I said, everything is content. And do I follow that? No. I should be posting every day. And sometimes I used to post 2 videos a day. But something about me and something I'm still like learning is that not everything has to be perfect. It can have mistakes.
Right.
It doesn't. I always try to make sure everything's so aesthetically pleasing and like catches the eye, but it doesn't have to. So being consistent, I think, is very important, especially if you really want to grow your company or just your profile in general. I have a friend named Maddie who's like, I want to start posting on TikTok. What do I post? I said, anything. Just be consistent with it. And she's a stay-at-home mom, so she'll do like her cleaning routine or her morning routine, and people love that. And she's loving it. She gets good views, and she's just now starting. So she's being consistent with it, and I'll help her with little things. Like, you don't have to have the most important setup or like a fancy camera. It can literally be your phone or your really laggy Android. Like it can be anything, and it will do fine. Just be consistent with it.
And people seem to really like for example, those getting ready with me videos. They'll like tell you a story or just tell you literally anything while they're like making food or doing their hair or doing their makeup. I've told some of my clients this. I'm like, instead of just like monologuing and talking at the camera, do something else while you're doing it. Yeah. Like, I don't know what it is. I think it's like, if you can't be with like this person, it's like you're still somehow, you're treating it as if like the viewers in your house. Yes. And you're just hanging out. And you're like, so anyway, and you're like doing your hair, but you're also like talking to them. Yeah. So I think it's like that personable touch without personally being, you know, in someone's presence. So. Yeah.
And another thing is that it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. If you're consistent and you're not, like, you can be consistent and not get the numbers that you're not wanting to see, but you never know when that like one hit wonder is going to be. That just
it's
really,
a numbers game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And a lot of people get discouraged when they don't see the progress in their profiles and stuff, but it's going to take time. I started in junior high and I'm 24 now. Like, it takes a little bit. Yeah. It takes a little bit. So don't get discouraged. Be consistent.
10 years, right?
Yeah.
And that's not even you. but that's not even you consistently trying every day either. You just started recently doing that. So. And
those videos, like, I do like a little series on my channel where I do outfits of the day, where what I wore for when I was working at the preschool. I know, thank you. But like outfits that I wore for preschool, like as a teacher, and teachers were like, oh, well, where did you get this? Where do you get that? And when you get those comments, engagement boosts your video. I have one who's gotten over 100,000 views, and I'm still getting notifications about it, and still getting questions about it. So you just never know when it will pop off. I have a video it's not even a video, it's 2 pictures. It's me and my mom, and it's gotten over 40,000 views, I think, maybe more now, but it's old videos, and they're still getting engagement. So it can be an old video and it randomly pops off.
That's awesome.
But be consistent.
I did have a question about this. So you have all these followers, but you're not following anyone.
No.
Why?
Because when you have to follow one person, then you're going to have to follow everybody. And I feel like my FYP is just things I interact with. So they'll just pop up on my For You page again. My algorithm will be algorithming, and it will bring me back to that part 1 of like this random lady telling a crazy story, and there's no part 2, but my algorithm will bring me back. I don't need to follow. So I don't know. I used to just follow like different influencers and no one really personal, but I don't know. Everyone's like, can you follow me? And then once you follow that first person, you gotta follow.
So you're like, I'm following no one.
I'm following no one. I don't even follow my own boyfriend.
I know, you have 0.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
Yeah. People think it's funny too. They're like, why don't you follow anybody? I'm like, I just don't want to. I make an excuse every time.
You can follow me.
You can follow me though. Thanks for the follow. Yeah.
So does your boyfriend record a lot for you, or is that just because he's here right now?
Sometimes. Like if I need behind the scenes, usually it's my mom. But he's learning. Yeah. He's learning. But I was like, I need you to like film this, or like I need you to like put this together so I can film it. Like when I just did one for like NFL Sunday. So I said, I need you to come sit next to me and clink our drinks together. Like
again.
I know exactly. I'm like, okay, we gotta do it again. He goes, oh my gosh.
Are you gonna do any pranks on him?
Oh, should I?
Oh, am I giving?
I love that idea. No, I think maybe.
Just say no.
He's been posting more, and I kind of like that he's starting to like post more. He's gonna get embarrassed about it. Look, and he's turning red. But he's starting to post more, and I think it's so fun. I said we can be such the fun couple on TikTok.
Be Mario and Bryn for Yakima.
Can you be Mario and Bryn for Yakima?
He's nodding.
He's nodding. He's saying yeah. You can talk.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
And that's a good idea. But I told him, I said, you need to be consistent more. I said, even on Instagram, I said, I need to be better at being consistent. Like, I need to post more content.
That's why you should do Metricool.
Yes, it's a good idea.
Because like when you find more tools that just make that habit easier, you're way more likely to just do the thing.
Yeah.
So.
And the thing about me is, and it's definitely just a me thing, and I get really, like when I post on TikTok, I get really nervous, like what are people gonna think? I need to stop doing that. So like
You have to get out of your own
Yes,
head. Yeah.
yes. And so when I post on Instagram, a lot of my Instagram followers are people from high school, my family, just people from that I've known throughout the years. It's not a lot of followers based on TikTok. I mean, a few of them are, but when I post, like, if I post a TikTok on there or something, I'm like, okay, what are they gonna think? Like, are they gonna think I'm so cringe? I'm like, they're probably going to. Like, the stuff that I post
And you have
sometimes.
to be okay with that.
And I have
Like,
to.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm learning too. Like, I'm still learning to, like, get out of my shell and not being so introverted. And
Well, and you're being vulnerable.
yes.
And you're just putting it out to the world.
Like, this is
Yeah.
my life, and you're gonna see every little bit of it.
Right.
Do I want that? Probably not. Am I gonna regret it one day? Probably. But I don't know. I just think social media is such a cool thing because there's so many people around the world that you don't know their story, and you learn so much. Like, I learn something new on TikTok probably every day. Either a cooking hack or something to do like with your Instagram or something. Like, I will learn something new every day, and that's something I think is really cool. Like, there's so many different people around the world. Everyone has a different story. Like, you never know what someone's going through, and a lot of people are vulnerable on social media, and I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about you. Well, I want to know everything. Maybe you don't want to know about me, but I want to know about you.
I'll give you my sob story in your next live stream.
Yes,
And you're like trying to
please.
play Fortnite.
You're like,
"Ah."
that's the thing too. Is like people are like, hey, I need advice. I'm like, I can do that as best as
I'm
I
just a
can.
girl.
I'm just a girl. I'm just a baby. I can't.
I'm just a girl, but sure.
I'm just a girl playing Fortnite. Oh, okay. Well, spew it at me.
People, man.
Oh, it's funny. What got you interested in doing all this, though? That's actually, I'm very curious about this because there's a lot of people who don't understand the behind the scenes of the internet.
Yes.
And then, so, like, when I find someone who knows and understands the hard parts of it,
Yeah.
I get genuinely curious, like, why? Like, why this?
Why podcasting?
Why podcasting? But what got you into marketing, like, stuff for social media and stuff and for different companies?
So when we started Site Savvy in 2015, that was much more like website, right? And I didn't know anything. Skylar Young taught me all that. And actually I did video. Like, that was something that I grew up doing. Like, from 5th grade on to like high school, I'd be like, oh, I know you want a PowerPoint, but can I do a video instead?
Yes.
So like, right.
Me.
You were saying you did that.
Yes, me and my Spanish class. I'm like, I don't want to perform in front of the class, but I'll film a video.
Yeah. We did that, I think, for ASL. We were supposed to do it in front of the class, but then we turned it into a music video, and we would like
Love it.
sign the like,
Love it.
So that was my background, and then I learned how to do websites. I'm like, oh, okay, like, I guess I'll put video on the back end. I think 2022 we started doing our own podcast for Site Savvy, and we're like, oh, like, we can do it, right?
Yes.
And I was listening to, so I was really getting into SEO, right? Which is like, okay, we do websites, but like, let's dig a little further in, because I've had so many clients ask me, well, how do I get to the top of Google?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a great question. So, then we dove into learning just more about like, what is search engine optimization, what is SEO, and like, how does that work? How do we do it? And a lot of people actually, they don't understand the two different, like they'll think when they say SEO, because a lot of people, it's just a hot word, and they don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, they're just throwing it out there,
Yes.
hoping someone will.
Like, oh, I know that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of people think it's like Google Ads, like advertising, and that's Google Ads. SEO it's an organic, like, how many words can I pump into my site? So if I repair sinks and I say sink repair 20 times versus the guy only said it twice.
Yeah.
I'm more likely to show up.
Yeah.
Right. But then you have to also do it in a way that like is readable and makes sense and all this stuff. So we were really digging into that. And then we realized like it was so hard to get content from clients. Like if you're a business owner and you do construction, that's your professional thing that you do. Yeah. You're not an author, most likely. Yeah. Most of the time, my clients just to sit down and type something out is like pulling teeth. And it's fine. If like, I don't want to do it either. I pay someone to do it for us. And so I got to the point where I was like, okay, let's we have a friend who's a journalist and she has, you know, this background, you know, she interviews people, she writes up stuff. Let's kind of mold her into helping her do it digitally, like online content. So she can, because business owners can talk, right? That's what they have to talk, right? So let's get them to just talk, and then we'll have our friend basically transcribe that into words for content on their pages, right? So we started doing that, and then I was like, okay, let's take it one step further. Let me have them in front of a camera. I'll give them the topic. I'll give them everything they need to talk about. I just need them to talk. Yeah. Because back in the day, I tried to do some social media, and we would get people that would be like, just post for me. And I'm like, I know nothing about your business. You're basically like needing me to do all this research that you're not going to pay me for. And then on top of that, I could also post something that sounds nothing like you. And that's not good either, right? Like if I have this bubbly personality on your Facebook and then they decide to call you and you're like, hello, right? Two very different personalities, and that's very jarring for people. So I was like, I'm not, like, this sounds like my own version of hell to just sit here and come up with something when I don't know anything about your business and I don't know your company culture, your values, your beliefs, your tone, your voice. And so I was like, I'm going to sit you in front of a camera and now I will actually have content to work with. Like, I need you to give me something to work with, and then you're going to look way better, sound way better, right? So that's when we kind of started doing it ourselves internally, and I was listening to this SEO podcast, and this guy was like, I don't spend any money on advertising. He's like, I get all my clients simply through SEO. And he's like, for every blog post that I write, I also record a video. And I upload it to Spotify as well. So in my one podcast session, it can be something that people can watch on YouTube, they can listen to on Spotify, and it gets transcribed. Everything I was said gets transcribed and edited to actually be readable, and then gets turned into a blog post. So you can either watch, listen, or read the same content.
I love it.
And I was like, and it was so simple, but I was like, oh my gosh, we need to do this. So I started doing it for Site Savvy, and then I started getting clients that were asking like, you know, I need to do these things and all this. And I'm like, oh, just do a podcast. Just do what we're doing. Yeah. And they're like, okay, who do I find that will do that for me? And I'm like, oh, sorry. So I'm like, well, maybe I'm onto something. Maybe this is something that we can actually help business owners with.
And I think that's really perfect for Yakima too.
Well, yeah, we have so many cool things to like just show and talk about. And then, you know, once I understood the SEO side of things, I was like, oh my gosh, like all these videos and reels will be great for marketing. Yeah. But then the blog post piece on the website, that's really what's going to help them in their ranking. Yes. And if you do this consistently, consistency every single month at least, I mean, more is better. Yeah. But if you're adding this content and you're just dominating all these platforms and you're constantly adding valuable content to your website, like you're making your website and social media really like merge and be that team, and you're really like helping ranking everywhere. Yeah. And so that's kind of almost been a challenge in a way, is just me explaining the depths of that to my clients of like literally everything is connecting and working together, because the internet's like just one big spider web. I just went over this. Actually, my last podcast was with my friend Kirsten with Hall Consulting and SEO and stuff. And we were just talking about how like because she trained me when I was really like trying to understand it all. Yeah.
And it's a lot to understand.
It is. It wasn't deep. As like, it's not like rocket science. Yeah. But it's like, once you understand how everything's connected, and like just all the different keywords and how it all like connects together, it really, a lot of what you understand as an influencer with your hashtags and all that really is a big part of it.
Yeah.
It's just knowing how to apply it on a website and then all the different platforms and like Google and stuff. So yeah, I think it was more of a solution to an issue I've had with clients from day one of trying to get content out of them.
Yes.
And so now not only does it help the website, but then it was like we took it a step further of now you have a ton of content. Like, so from one podcast, you can now turn that into a whole month's worth of content.
Yeah.
So from this podcast, this one's a little long, but we can probably turn this into like 2 months worth of content.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, and it's so efficient. It's not like you have to come in again.
Yeah.
And this will turn into a blog post, into a YouTube video, probably 2 YouTube videos at this point, into 2 different Spotify things, right? So I'm really trying to be efficient with people's time too, because I think that's the hardest, especially as a business owner. You don't have a lot of time, and I think that's why a lot of them don't want to do marketing because they think it's going to take up so much of their time. So that's really who I'm trying to target, is those people that need something, but they're so busy. Yeah. I'm like, okay, give me an hour a month. That's what I need. But I need you. I need your face. You can't just put your front desk receptionist in front of a mic. That they're not the one running the company, you know? So that's really important. And it is hard. It's hard to get business owners to be okay with being in front of a camera. I mean, you're in front of a camera all the time, and you came in here still like a little nervous, right?
I was. It's something new. I don't know. I was telling Sam, like, my stomach hurts so bad. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this.
You're fine.
I get so nervous. Like, even when, like, we did the whole Nordstrom thing, I was like, I can't go in front of all these people. Like, I can't do this. Like, you're very vulnerable. I can't say that word. Vulnerable. I can't say it. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
But, like, it's something new. And you got to get out of that bubble and be uncomfortable. It's okay to be uncomfortable sometimes.
That's how you're going to make yourself stand out. It's easy to not post anything that doesn't show your face. That's easy. And,
like, I get a lot of people that come into my live streams like, hey, how do I start this? Like, I'm so shy. I'm like, to me, I'm not talking to anybody right now. You're just, to me, like, you could be literally nobody, but you are somebody. But, like, if you put me in front of thousands of people and I'm on a stage, I could not do it. Like, absolutely not. Like, when I have to do meet the teacher and parent orientation, I feel like I'm going to throw up because I can't be in front of people. Put me in front of a camera, whole other story, because I physically can't see you.
Right.
If I could, but, like, that's funny. Even when we did, like, our little Zoom meet, I was like, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Yeah. But you're great. You nailed it. I feel so comfortable. But yeah, you gotta get out of your little comfort zone, and I'm still learning that. Like when I do different things, when I'm posting stuff that I'm not usually posting, like what are people gonna think? But at this point, you can't care what people think because then you're just holding yourself back.
Yeah. It's easy to not care.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to
talk yourself out of things.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I talk myself out of a lot, and then this guy's like, "Just do it. You'll be fine." He'll
survive.
Helps me. Yeah,
that's good.
Such a sweetie pie.
You gave me a lot to think about. Actually, you did. And what I really like about these is I can like show them to my clients and be like, see? Not just me. I'm not the only one saying it. Like, this is real, right?
Real life.
Yeah. So thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is fun. What'd you think? First podcast.
Okay.
Thoughts?
You made me feel so comfortable.
Oh, thanks.
So thanks. Like, I was feeling very, not overwhelmed, but I'm just like,
new place, new experience.
Yeah. And I can always know what I want to say, but I can never get the words out. And that's usually when like people ask me for advice on live streams. I'm like, guys, help me. You guys know what I'm gonna say, and they're like, okay, this is what she means. But I can't usually get the words out, and you did great. You helped me. You held my hand.
Yeah, you're right. And if you ever want to start a podcast, but it really just seems like you have you don't have a secret sauce. It's be consistent. It's
it's plain and simple.
Right.
It's not that hard, and it's not as much as people think it is.
But being consistent that's a very universal like success factor. But it's just so hard for people to be consistent.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you. Thanks for joining me. If people want to check out like your stream or any of your socials, are they all different? Or
No, they're all my name. Either there's an underscore, there's not an underscore.
Oh, okay.
On Instagram, it's Amiya_Aparicio. On TikTok, I think it's just Amiya Aparicio.
Yeah.
Cool. If you just look up my name, Google my name, you'll
and then
find
one
it.
day you'll have a website.
One day,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, and merch.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out.